lost souls, bitch, lost souls. And the no I reach the road. These bitches lost souls, oh, and I know it. Fucking with the old ones, you won't get fucked over. Ferraris and Rovers, these so much is over. And I'm with that Cobra, now that boy stuffed over. They do it all for soul, son, you wasn't making no trust. Y'all know I'm a roller, your clip full of rollers. God, y'all some rollers, God, y'all some rollers. BGB gold plus, y'all lost all those. These bitches lost souls,
Love souls to the smoke draw. When I get toasted, roast the pig pole. When I poke on the bitch slowly. Stole those that oppose to get broke. Dispose those who pose as foes, cause they chose. I'm wicked, I kick it when people get lifted. We gifted people that visit the center, but down to the finish. We go when we get it, yeah. The paper I chased, his evil ways. I'm fucking with bitches and getting this riches, they steadily say.
Sup, fresh?
living.
It make me wanna ride in the caddy, smoke a big ass fatty. Got a sweet thing with me, call her my little baddie. Yeah, you know, man, this shit is so West Coast. I woke in the morning, she made me bacon, eggs, and French toast with some OJ. She was playing Coldplay. I said I got the next song, had to throw on old Dre. Let me ride. Trip down the 405, down to the 10 to the 1. Bitch, I'm hitting my stride, sun shining. You already know I stay vibing. If you got the thing roll, baby, why you ain't light it? You should try it. I don't even know what the time is, cause every time we do it, shit's timeless, timeless.
Cause I'm picking up some weed to smoke. Got some things that you need to know.
That shit's timeless.
And I can tell you about some freaky hoes, but I think I should keep it low.
Low, 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 low.
Your boy fresh got the beat to blow, and you know I got the cleanest flow.
That shit's timeless.
Yeah, we heard that you need some more, so you know we gotta keep it going.
That shit's timeless. I told him that we at it again. Got you asking your friends. Yeah, you know we doing damage like we crashing the bins. That's on a stack. I told you we was coming right back. Me and Fresh starting to feel like we Kobe and Shaq. Roll me a Zag. Somebody just pull me some jack. I'm getting reckless, need directions where the hoes gon' be at. He told me to snap. Sorry, I ain't holding shit back. I'm on a mission, crushing every bad bitch on the map. Yeah,
And that's how it goes.
What is up, everybody? How's everybody doing? Hope everyone had a good weekend, good last couple days. I'm sorry for the delay, but yeah, just dealing with some shit. Wasn't able to get my stream out on Monday or yesterday, but I'm here now, and isn't that what really matters? Yeah, I think my last stream was really good. Obviously, we had some further downside happen since that last stream. So the last stream that we did, right, we were trading right above this level, and I talked about the possibility of us trading below. I've been doing my best to keep you guys updated on Twitter. So I've posted several charts over the last few days in lieu of a stream just for my thoughts on what's going to happen with price. We actually posted a long setup both on Twitter and in Discord. So if you are confused about what is happening or you're wondering what my thoughts have been, make sure you're obviously following on Twitter, because between the shit posts, I do occasionally post charts. Yeah, hopefully everyone's on the same page. I'm currently in a long right now. I've taken a little bit of profit, so I will go over why I got into the long, the reasoning for it, stop placement, give you all of the juicy details. I'll also talk about Ethereum, obviously, which gave a nice setup as well and had a nice 10% rally over the last day. That's probably all we're going to really cover. Maybe we'll look at some altcoins, but primary focus is going to be Bitcoin and Ethereum. Last video, we talked a lot about, price going down and this whole down move, the shorts that we took out up here, but very clean levels we've had here. So we're going to talk about patience and what I mean by waiting to pick your spots and, what you do when price gets to those spots in terms of now you want to execute, right? The way that I trade, I don't need to be on the charts 24/7. I have areas where I'm looking for setups, and so I'll kind of dive into that a little bit more. Should make for some good TikTok content. We're still trying to take over on TikTok. So if you're not following me on TikTok, fuck you. Follow me on TikTok at Trader Mayne. I think we're almost at 2,000 followers on there, which is pretty awesome. And lots of good shit going on there, right? We're posting clips from streams, bits of alpha, things like that. So, people are always asking me what an SFP is. My editor was able to find me talking about an SFP, clip it, put it on TikTok. We're going to be uploading some of that stuff as YouTube shorts as well, and potentially on Instagram, but we're trying to take over all of the different social media content. That way, the next bull run, I can shill our bags to the next generation of retail, and we will all be OGs. And we're all going to get super big boats. Okay, so real quick shout out to Prime XBT, the sponsors of the stream. Prime's been riding with me, man. Even though prices are dropping, Prime is, staying as a sponsor on the stream, which I really appreciate. So if you want to help me out, I don't charge you guys for anything that I do. I don't have a paid group. I don't have paid Discord. I don't have paid mentorship. I don't charge you guys for anything. Everything that I do is for free here on YouTube and Twitter and those other platforms. So if you want to help me out, the way that I'm earning income on these videos is through exchange sponsorships. I'm not trying to hide anything from you, but if you sign up using my link and you deposit money, some of that gets kicked back to me. So if you appreciate what I do, you want to help me out, you want to help a brother out, that's the best way to do it. Sign up using that link, use my deposit code Mayne50 and deposit some money, and some of that gets kicked back to me, and I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing, sponsors or not. But if you want to help me out, that's the best way to do it. So shout out to the Prime team for sticking with me. All the information on how to take advantage of that is in the link in the description box of this video. If you have any questions, you can always DM me. If you want to join my Discord, go to tradermayne.com. It has all the instructions on how to do it. It is completely free. All right, so let's get into it here. We're gonna start off with Bitcoin. I'm not gonna talk about what happened up here. If you want to know the shorts we took for the leg down, go watch my last stream and the stream before that where we talked about this move down. We're going to talk about the long that I took here yesterday, and we're going to talk about where I think this could go. Title of the video, is this a bear market rally or is the bottom in? That's what we're going to be talking about. Anything else after that, I might take some suggestions. I'm not going to make this video too long. I know whenever I say that, that's never the case, but who fucking knows? I'm going to do my best. All right, guys? So let's take a quick look at the chat, see if I can yell at anyone to get my energy levels up here before we dive into the fucking video. Oh, Jane. Hi, how are you? Jane, it took me several days to recover from the absolute shit show that was our interaction in the last video. So I'm hoping things go better this time. I really do. Thank you, Prototype. Appreciate that, man. Says I'm looking handsome and breedable. I appreciate that very much. Vin says I'm poor and 30. I'm determined to make it. Hey, man, I believe in you. DJ at my wife's boyfriend's wedding that you're not invited to. Get me into that gig, bro, and I will split the fee with you 50-50. I know, East Vancouver. It is nice. Summer has finally arrived in Canada, I think. I don't want to jinx it, knock on wood, but I think summer has finally arrived, so I'm excited about that. Thank you, Access. I appreciate that. There's a TikTok follower. Post skincare routine. My skincare routine is very complex. But if you guys are interested in knowing how I keep at 32 years old, just about 32, how I keep this beautiful complexion, no wrinkles, no zits to be seen, it's very simple. I use the same soap that I use to wash my hands and my body on my face. It's that easy. JV Gayoso says, kindly shout out my wife, Cherry Ann Gosm. Happy 7th anniversary. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Well, happy anniversary to you. First question, why do you guys have different last names? How'd that happen? Are you even married? Okay. So, Canada's got all Bieber, Drake, and Mayne. Yeah, Canada's got a lot of W's. A lot of W's, man. Okay, so let's get into it. So, the Altcoin podcast said, that's a cool hat. Do they make it for men? That's got to be one of the weakest burn attempts I've ever seen, my friend. Is this your Twitter channel? Is this your YouTube here, bro? Is this you? Is this you talking shit to me?
All right, so the coin we are covering today is the Ren protocol, and it is an absolute bloodbath out there today, folks. Bitcoin broke below its previous high from the last.
You gotta get your numbers up before you're talking to me, boy. Get your numbers up before you're talking to me. You're talking about altcoins. They're all down 90%. I just summarized your entire fucking channel in 10 seconds. Okay, so good one though. Here's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the level-to-level play. We're going to talk about the level-to-level play here, right? So we obviously shorted here. What I mean when I say level-to-level, I like to focus on the high time frame when I'm looking for my support and resistance areas. And then I am patient. I wait for price to get to areas that I like to do business before I go ahead and look for a setup. Okay, so I talk about this all the time. I always tell you guys, you got to be patient. Know where you want to play, right? You can try and find a trade anywhere on the chart, but if you start with that high time frame perspective, where's support, where's resistance? Now you've added a layer. Okay, now I know where to focus. I'm looking for shorts at resistance, longs at support, whatever you're doing. Okay, when price gets to that level, that's when you zoom in. That's when you start looking for those setups that we talk about. What do you want to see? Strength, weakness, at the level. Are you looking for an over-under, an SFP, whatever, order blocks? All that stuff is great, but it works best when you are focused at key support and resistance areas. That's where you want to look for those things, okay? So the levels that we had been looking at here were this 31.8 level. And I said, once we were trading below here, I'm looking to short a retest. with my ultimate target being here. Now on the weekly chart, it looks pretty straightforward. Rejection all the way down here. Now it's finding support. You arguably could have shorted this weekly retest. Maybe you shorted here with your stop here. That's effectively what we did. Take profit here. Now that this has put in a big wick, you long this retest and you target maybe back up into this range, back up into this empty candle, right? Or you zoom in and you look for some more lower time frame targets, right? But I did nothing between these two levels. So once we got short up here, my target was down here. So when I was taking profit on the way down, I was not looking to long until we interacted with that level. Once we got down to that level, interacted with it, I said, okay, this is a key area that might be support. It's the former all-time high. We just had a huge sell-off across the entire market. Other than this one candle, it's been down only since like 50K, right? Every weekly candle since 50K has been red until this, except this one. And then potentially this one, which closes in 3 days. So once we got down here, I said, okay, I've got previous all-time high. I've got this order block right here on the weekly. Now I'm going to zoom in and look for reasons to potentially get bullish. Remember, where am I looking for the trade? What direction am I looking for? What am I looking for? Where's that idea wrong, right? You got to have that trade plan, whether it's stuck on your wall, written down on an iPad, on a sticky note. You got to have all those boxes that you look for to get ticked for looking to a setup. So for me, are we at a key area, right? Do I have a high time frame bias? Key area, previous all-time high, bullish order block. Yes. High time frame bias, still bearish, but looking for relief, which means on the low time frame, I can be looking for a long. If we're doing this high time frame, it doesn't mean I can't look to long this portion. Even if I believe that we have another leg down, doesn't mean I can't be long biased here. And that's exactly what I'm kind of suspecting might happen here, is something like this, right? So I'm looking for potential reasons to get bullish here. I have my high time frame bias. I have my key area. Now I'm going to zoom in. Do I have a risk-defined setup based on one of the patterns, setup entry techniques that I've shared with you guys that I like to trade forming at that level? So we zoom in. We came in here on the weekly. So I posted on Twitter. This entire setup was laid out on Twitter here. So if you're not following on Twitter, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. But you should be, right? So this was posted on the 20th. So that's 3 days ago now, right? So levels have been clean. After the rejection from 31.8, it's been down only until our next level. The weekly managed to close with a 15% wick above, or with a 15% wick below. I'm dyslexic. I apologize. I can't even read stuff I wrote. It's crazy. If the daily candle can maintain above 19.8, I'm long biased for a relief bounce towards 23K. So that was the first part of the plan, okay? So we zoomed in. I said, okay, we had this big move below, okay? And then on the 20th, I posted that chart. That's right here. Look at every daily candle since that post, right? Here's the 20th. We had one more move up. Boom, retested that key high time frame level. Closed above. I'm long biased. So I'm ticking off boxes on my little trading plan, right? You zoom in again, we get a little bit more definition. What is one of the setups that I like to see form at key levels? I like over-unders, breakers, order blocks, SFPs. So I had 2 levels marked out here when we started trading down, right? So I posted that chart while we were trading up here. If we traded back down into here, I'm basically looking for a reason to get long near this level. There's a couple setups here that should be jumping out at you. The one that I got in was the H4SFP, but I had this level marked as well. This was Monday's low. So I thought maybe we run Monday's low, but my key bullish trigger was I wanted to see the daily candles remain closing above that 19.8 level. They did. We didn't run this low, but we ran this swing low. What is an SFP? Everyone's always asking. You have a low, a lower low, a higher low. This is now a swing low, okay? We traded below the swing low and closed back above. Soon as that candle closed, I longed. Stop technically goes right below the low. Personally, I had a kind of mental stop here. I didn't want to see it trade below here, but I actually had my stop a little lower because I wanted to give some breathing room in case we ran below Monday's low. Okay, and then maybe I had to add or I had to cut early and re-long. But mentally, I said, okay, I don't want to see us break that SFP low. There's your swing low. Traded below it, closed back above. It's now a valid SFP. An SFP on the H4, a bullish SFP on its own means nothing. But with context, you can now build a trade around it. High time frame support, looking for reasons to be bullish, daily candle closes above my key level, retest of the key level, bullish SFP. So all of this context makes this entry technique valid. If these are all meaningless, if I don't have any of this high time frame context and I just see an SFP, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to work, right? You can find bullish SFPs that don't fucking play out. Here's a bullish SFP right here. You have a swing low, closed, went below, closed above, the next candle fucking nukes. Why did this bullish SFP not work and this one did? All of these things, the context of where it happened, right? The entry technique is just one piece of that puzzle, right? So we have a lot of the things that we're looking for, right? Setting up at the key level. Sorry, one sec here, guys. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Just doing... All right, my bad. Okay, so we have all of those things lining up to give us the setup, right? So you have to have all of those pieces of the puzzle line up. And again, this is me laying out that high time frame top-down analysis for you. I'm doing the fucking work for you. And then even though I lay out exactly what I'm fucking doing, I say everything that I'm looking for, where I'm looking for, what I'm targeting, I still get comments like, where's your target? Where's your stop? Are you long? And it's very hard sometimes to be patient, but I do my best to respond and not freak out at you guys. But some days I'm not as good at it. Sometimes I'm a little snarky with the comments. I like to usually keep that for the streams because it's funnier when I say it in person like this because it can't be taken as seriously. Because you can tell I'm just fucking around, but harder to do. So literally laid out everything that I talked about. High time frame, looking for a potential bounce. Here's what I'm looking for. All of that shit's laid out. The next tweet was talking about my potential trigger that I'm looking for. So I have all those things ticked. Level, bias, blah, blah, blah. Now I'm looking for a trade trigger, okay? All of this is just the last 3 days. I did nothing before that. I was chilling, right? Get down to the level. I'm saying, okay, now I'm looking for a trade trigger. So I marked out Monday's low. I said I still want to see us close above 19.8. Boom. Closed above 19.8. H4 SFP. I longed. I literally gave it to you. Where do you think the target is? Do you think it might be this X? I don't know. Okay. Price moved away. What's funny is under this tweet, right? This tweet's hilarious. I longed. Right? Send it to Hades. Now we dump. We'll dump now. And I'm petty, so I wait for us to pump and then I go like the tweet. Just because I'm petty like that. Once I saw that we got the reaction I wanted, I moved up my stop, hard stop, because remember I had it here. I put a mental stop below the low. Once we moved away, then I moved my hard stop up to here. My stop's now actually at break even, so I can't lose money, and I've taken some money off the table. And Bob's your uncle, right? We're now well into profit. This is a, 1,200 point move off of our entry. We had a solid risk reward, to me, the obvious targets are here and then up here. Right now, we're into resistance, this order block here, but it failed to make a new low. So what I'm hoping happens is something like this, and then maybe a bigger pullback. I don't know, though. I'm being cautious. Obviously, I still know that the high time frame trend is down. So any sort of upside I can get, I want to take money off the table. But the setup was laid out super straightforward. Hopefully this makes sense for you. So let me know in the chat, guys, if this made sense and what questions you may have about the setup. But this is literally exactly how I fucking trade. I don't know who else on fucking YouTube for free is telling you exactly what they fucking do and doing it live in front of you and it working. Like, I don't know. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I'm gonna toot my own fucking horn. Like, I share stuff with you guys in advance. It fucking works. Why don't I have 1 million followers yet is really the only question. But yeah, hopefully that makes sense to you guys. So is everyone on the same page in terms of what I'm looking for and why? You could also add additional setups in here. The H4 SFP, okay? Well, what is this then? That's an H4 breaker right there. So this retest is a long, okay? This is just an H4 bullish order block. That could have been a long. You could have zoomed in. A few people in Discord were watching this on the low time frame, and they pointed out this. Here's your H30 breaker that ran the low, right? Candle up that runs the low. There's your H30 setup. This is already a very profitable trade. Stop below the breaker. Target highs to the left. That's already 2R. It's already at almost 4R. The 30-minute trade, right? So you don't have to take it on the H4 like I did. You can zoom in. You know that this is where we're looking for a long setup to form. So why don't you zoom in this area to whatever your preferred time frame is and look for that setup? You could arguably go on the 5-minute chart and say this is where we got the H4 SFP right here. This is a bullish order block. Down candle that caused an up move that broke market structure. Retest 1, retest 2. That's on the 5-minute chart. Why does this work here? Same reason the H4 SFP worked here. We had context. We're not just looking for an order block randomly. We're at a key high time frame level. We have a bias. We know what we're looking for. Now the probability of what you're looking for has a higher likelihood of working out. It doesn't mean it's going to work every time. Okay, it's not going to work every time. We very easily could have put in a big red candle here. But the increasing your probability of being right requires context, requires all of these things I'm talking about. Okay, so hopefully this makes sense. Does anyone have any questions about that setup? I think it was pretty straightforward. What do I think happens from here? I'm hoping we get one more push. So I'm hoping we at least take out this high. Someone said that I'm out of my trade already. I'm not out of my trade already. I took some off the table and I put my stop to break even. Again, I literally laid this entire trade out on fucking Twitter. Locked in some gains, stop to break even. So I cannot lose, okay? Aiming for another move higher, but I could add back on strength or long lower. So what I'm basically saying is, okay, we're in a resistance here. I'm going to take some profit. If we pull back and show strength, maybe I re-long. Maybe we pull back even further. Still making a higher low. I can add back. I can long again. Or if we break above here, right, and show strength, maybe I add to my long that's still open. Ultimate target is 23. I don't know if we get there on this push, but I want to lock in some gains. I want to lock in that money. I'm paid. I can't lose on this trade. Now I have some flexibility to add back, right? Or to hold what I'm holding. Maybe we do this and I close the rest of it. And then I see what happens. I don't know yet. But I laid it out all for you on Twitter. So let me know. If this makes sense for you guys. Okay? Altcoin podcast got absolutely roasted. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. Have me on your podcast and maybe I will forgive you. But you came here talking shit and I had to give you that smoke. You know, I'm like, shoot first, ask questions later. You came in, started talking shit. I'm like, bah, 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 bah. Okay. Oh, there he is. You know I'm just kidding, bro. I love you. Okay. John Galt says, just tell if the bottom is in. Don't get butthurt by someone who doesn't like your hat. Hey, John Galt, how about you go fuck yourself? If we're just giving each other friendly advice, how about you go fuck yourself? And yeah, how's that? I don't know if the bottom's in, bro. I have no fucking clue. But I do know when I find out, I will tell every living human being before I ever tell you. Okay? But thank you for the comment. Good luck out there. You've now been put in timeout, John. Let's see. I've started to use the 12-hour time frame more. Thanks to you. I'm glad you're liking that, bro. Dyslexia is sexy. It's okay. Okay. I haven't heard that before, but I'll take it. Favorite Naruto character? Hard question to answer. I love Itachi. Love Jiraiya. Love Naruto, obviously. Shikamaru. Oof. So many. Glad you're learning there, Bill. All right. Sounds like everyone is understanding what the fuck I'm saying. How did I get that 19.8 level? It is the previous all-time high according to the Bitfinex chart here. So it might be slightly different depending on the exchange you're looking at. Can I bring Pentoshi on? I'd love to have Pentoshi on. If he's down, I'm down. I don't know if he's voice doxed before. So I know he's posted pictures. So I don't know if he would care, but I would love to have him on. I'll reach out to him. I know he's been traveling a lot. Mayne, there's now an H4 order block right at your entry. Could this be a good area to relong if it happens? Potentially, right? You do have to consider that we kind of already tested here, right? That already had a retest. This order block seems more likely to me here, right? But I don't know. If I would be looking here. I'd be looking at the daily, and I'm questioning if this can do this. If we can get one more push up here, get a daily close through here, then this becomes an interesting buy, right? But we're still trading within this resistance, right? We're still trading within this 12-hour resistance here, right? This bearish order block. We're still trading within this, so you have to be careful. So that's why I'm being just super quick, taking profits and things like that. But, you know, maybe we run this low, right? Maybe we have one more low, right? And then this becomes the higher low here, right? Maybe we get some sort of, you know, Fibonacci pullback kind of deal, right? Run the 50% into the 78.6, the OTE, and then we get a bigger bounce. I don't know what's going to happen for sure. So I'm taking things very tight. Just trading level to level, taking profit, securing profit. I don't really have a great high time frame view. If I had to guess what's going to happen is this low, I don't think is the bear market low, personally. Do I think we're setting up for a potential squeeze higher? Sure, right? But I don't personally think that this is a bear market low yet. That being said, if you're looking at this on the super high time frame, I think accumulating between 10 and 20K, right, is probably not bad long term. Like outside of complete disaster globally, right? I think, you know, if you bought some at 17K, maybe we get another dump down here and you buy some more, maybe one more plunge lower, you buy some more, right? And then we have that long accumulation period. and then we break out. When's the next halving? In 2023, 2024, whenever the next halving is, right? Let's say if you're buying between these two levels here, you know, 10 to 20,000, I think long term it's going to be equivalent to buying, you know, between 3 and 6,000, right? Like I think buying down here, which after you know that it 10x from there, 20x from there, it's going to be equivalent to buying, you know, here. This looks crazy, right? But 3K to 6K, right, was a 100% move. 10K to 20K is a 100% move. So it's absolutely not out of the question that we can have a 50+% range where price bottoms. So I do think if you're a long-term investor in Bitcoin, buying below 20K, but being prepared for it to go lower, maybe as low as 13, 14K, maybe even lower and one crazy spike to 10K, but being prepared for it to go lower and realizing, okay, I bought some here and I'm okay if those bags are underwater for a while, because I believe that, you know, in 12 to 18 months from now, all of these buys are going to look genius when we break out of that bottoming range, right? Similar to if you were buying at 6K, 5K, 4K, 3K, you know, 6 months later, all of a sudden, you know, we're in a huge bull market and you bought, you know, very near the bottom. So, but in terms of like what I think is going to happen tomorrow, I don't really know yet. I'm just watching, still in a bit of my long. I still think ES is going to push up into this level, which was confluent for me taking the long. I posted that as well, right? So I posted the ES chart when we were retesting it here, right? We have a 12-hour SFP. We have a 12-hour order block here. Move up, retest. We have a gap here that seemed like the magnet on price as well as a swing high. So I said, if ES goes up here, why can't Bitcoin get relief as well, right? So that was confluence for my long. But yeah. So it sounds like everyone understands why I took the long, what I think is possible for next. Again, it's going to be Friday tomorrow. We're going into the weekend. It's going to be like the first really nice weekend of the summer. So I don't want to be glued to the charts or anything like that. But yeah, hopefully this is all making sense here, guys. How much am I risking in percentage in these conditions? Generally, on any given trade, I'm risking between 1% and 5% of that trading account, not of my entire stack. Am I once again in the virtual presence of the most intelligent, handsome, and young man God blessed this world with? Thank you so much, Kazim. I appreciate that. And you are. That's correct. Do you ever look at RSI when zooming in on setups? Personally, no. I know that RSI works. I have friends who use RSI, you know, very, very regularly. But it's not something I personally use. You could argue here, right? Okay. This is a perfect example of when RSI is useful. We have our key level at 19.8. Let me just get that level back here. 19.8. Let's just say it's here. Okay, this is our key level. So we're looking for reasons to get long as we come into this level. We have lower lows forming on the chart. We have higher lows forming on the RSI. Right? So you had a bullish divergence on the RSI at the key level. That's not enough reason for me to get into trade. But again, remember those boxes, right? Key level, high time frame bias, blah, blah, blah. RSI could be one of your boxes on your trading plan. Oh, bullish divergence on the RSI, check. Another piece of confluence. So then when you go, but you still need, RSI does not give you the setup. Where does your entry, right? Where's your entry? Where's your stop? You need price action for that. But RSI can absolutely be a tick box on your trading plan that you use as added confluence. Okay? And you could zoom in and say, okay, well, when that setup happened here, right? Was the RSI giving us another bull div? Yeah, right? You have a lower low here, higher low here. Bullish divergence, right? On the RSI, where the setup occurred. Then you're like, okay, maybe I'm going to play the breaker here. Right? But now, right, what happens if the RSI starts doing this? Making lower highs and we make one more leg up. That might be time to take some profit, right? The RSI is now in the upper boundary. starting to round off potentially. So if you see some sort of bear div, that could be a clue that, hey, maybe it might be time to take some off. But this is not personally something I use, and I am by no means an expert with RSI. If you want to know more about RSI, you want to see someone who uses it very well, check out Cold Blooded Schiller. Jane is here, I think. Your neck scares me. Don't be scared, friend. Don't be scared. Where's the Discord link? www.tradermayne.com. How about you hit the gym? I already hit the gym today. Have I lost weight? No. I've been sitting around 200 to 205, 198 to like 203, 204 for the last like 3 months. But all my lifts are going up weight-wise. So I'm definitely getting stronger and kind of maintaining my weight. Will I get LASIK surgery? I probably should. I mean, how broke were you back then? I mean, I don't know. Back when? I used to live in my dad's basement. Do you have any trading course or coaching? No. Everything I do is free on YouTube. Mayne, do you just trade full time? Yes. What's your favorite indicator? I don't use any indicators. When are you visiting Toronto? Are you in Toronto? If you buy me a beer when I'm out there, maybe I'll come visit. There's a restaurant out there I love called Momofuku. They make ramen. It's by David Chang. It's one of his restaurants. They have this spicy mazamen ramen that is chef's kiss. Super good. Okay, let me check the Twitch chat here. Did you go to NYC? Do I look like I'm in NYC? No, I did not go. When you draw your levels on the high time frame, does it matter if you use wicks or closes? It depends what you're drawing, right? I'm marking the all-time high, so that is a wick. You could also say, okay, I want the all-time high weekly close. Maybe that's the level you wanted to use, right? It's up to you. What are you marking? I'm marking the previous all-time high, right? This was a weekly close. Will the stream be recorded? Yes, it's always recorded. Can you explain the origins of the robot profile picture? Literally, my profile picture used to be a goose, and then I drew like a Fibonacci spiral on it because I was super into this mystic bullshit because I learned a lot from this guy named Kazanomics. And then I looked up like Space Goose or Robo Goose on Google Images, and that's what came up. Kobe and Loomdart bought, so pretty easy bounce the new lows. Okay, I wouldn't just assume because someone else did something that something is going to happen, right? Make your own decisions. Be self-sufficient. Okay. Blunt Frank Trauma says, I look 5'4", 200 pounds isn't good. I'm 6'2", but nice try. All right, so I'm going to talk about Ethereum now. So Ethereum played out very similarly to Bitcoin. So the Ethereum level that we used, so on Bitcoin we used the weekly level of the previous all-time high. The Ethereum level that I used is actually this monthly close of the all-time high. So why didn't I use the all-time high? I actually had the all-time high marked out. But as you can see, we came down to it and nothing happened, right? Bitcoin was still trading, I think at like the mid to high 20s when Ethereum was trading at 1400, right? So we came down here. Ethereum looked more bearish than Bitcoin. So I had this level marked, but we didn't get a reaction. So just because you mark a level, it doesn't always mean that there's going to be something that happens at that level, right? This is where an area where I think price might bounce or reject. But at the end of the day, you don't know until it gets there, and then you watch. So I had this level marked. Bitcoin still had further to go. The reason Ethereum was more sold off, if you remember, right, when Bitcoin was ranging, most altcoins had already made this leg down, right? Actually, it was here. Bitcoin was ranging at 30K, but all these altcoins had already broken down. We had the Ethereum short here, the second short here. As it sold off harder than Bitcoin. Why? Because Ethereum BTC was bearish, meaning Ethereum was the weaker of those two assets. It sold off harder. So we didn't get a reaction at the previous all-time high. So the next level I went to was the monthly close of that all-time high area. Okay, you also could have used the weekly if you wanted. Maybe you wanted to use, this level here. There's a bunch of levels you could have looked at. I think this ended up being the bottom, this level right around here. I don't know why this is blue, right? Maybe you wanted to use that 979 level, but the level I was using was this monthly level here. Okay, I was looking for reasons for price to bounce around this area. So you come down, you say, okay, look at the weekly chart. We had a huge wick below, but look where we closed above. So even though we traded literally 20% below that level, we still closed above. This week, traded below the level, still closed above. Okay, so obviously this is a relevant level because you're seeing price respect it. You don't know, but when price gets there, it generally will show you whether or not the level is relevant, and that's what we're seeing here. Big wick below, close above. So again, we zoom in. Ethereum actually traded quite nicely. So you had that second move into 990. I did not get long down here, personally. I didn't long Ethereum down here. I know a bunch of people bought spot down here. Killer buy, in my opinion. If you're buying, I talked about this before we even dumped, when we were up here. I said, I'm pretty sure Ethereum goes sub 1,000, and I'm pretty sure anywhere between 1,000 and like 670, like 600 to 1,000, I think is similar to buying Bitcoin from like 10 to 20K. I think in a long-term scenario, it's going to look really good. So some people got some great fills here. Do I think the bottom is in? I don't know yet. But we came into an area where I thought price might find support. Now I want to start looking for reasons to get long. Ethereum gave a very nice Monday range setup. Okay? So Bitcoin was trading into an H4 SFP. And what does Ethereum do? We have our Monday range. This is just the Spaceman BTC indicator, but you just take the high of Monday's candle and the low of Monday's candle. It gives you a nice little range. We traded outside the top, traded all the way to the bottom. Now we traded outside the bottom, traded all the way back to the top. It's just a range play. So once we had that bullish trigger on Bitcoin, okay, you could have argued that, okay, well, Ethereum here is just putting in, maybe some sort of SFP, some sort of bullish, market structure break, some sort of, run of this Monday low, and then a reclaim is your long trigger. So on the hourly, you had a pretty clean breaker play here, right? There's your up candle that creates a move down that runs a low, not just any low, Monday's low. We have our key high time frame level that we're looking to be bullish at. Bitcoin was setting up a bullish setup. All of those things combined, I want to be long biased down here. Bullish order block, down candle before an up move that breaks market structure. Right? Same shit. So Ethereum gave you, and look at the retest of the key level itself. Move above, bang, retest, another leg up. Target, Monday high. We're pushing into that right now. So Ethereum gave a very nice Monday's range setup, in my opinion, with this being your risk. Once we traded below Monday's low and then got back within, you are now long biased, looking for reasons to get bullish, okay? targeting Monday's high with a invalidation below that deviation of Monday's low. Right? So however you wanted to get long here, whether it's this order block, whether it's the breaker, whether it's the pullback, you have all the tools in your toolkit to know what to look for when you get here. Again, you could zoom in. You could say, okay, well, on the low time frame, we have an SFB here. Right? 15-minute swing failure pattern. Maybe you're getting in on this SR flip, like something like this. You have support here, becomes resistance, becomes support, becomes support. I don't know, right? It's up to you how you want to get in the trade. I'm not able to tell you every fucking setup that's going to play out. I'm giving you guys the exact areas, right? I'm giving you guys the exact areas here, right? Here. I'm giving you the exact areas to go and look for a long. And in previous videos and streams, I've given you, including in this stream, ways to actually enter the trade, where to put your stop. So I'm giving you all the pieces of the puzzle. Inevitably, eventually, you have to make the fucking thing yourself. I can't do it for you. I'm not at your computer pressing the buttons. But I can show you where to focus, right? Trading becomes a whole lot easier when you know where to look for setups, right? One of the harder part, you might be like, hey, I know how to enter, an SFP. Okay, where is that SFP going to form? And what is the context surrounding where it forms, in line with what I'm looking for, is equally, if not more important. Knowing that you want to get bullish at Monday's low helps take out a lot of the noise. If you're like, okay, I know that if we reclaim Monday's low, I'm long biased. Well, now you have a window here of time to look for longs, right? And do whatever you want to do on whatever time frame you want to do it on. Okay? You could also argue here on Ethereum. Once we broke here, right? Once we broke this level, traded all the way down into here, right? So similar to Bitcoin from 30 to 20. Ethereum literally cut in half, okay? 50% drawdown from here. You could argue that after this big of a sell-off, look at how many red daily candles this is in a row. Weekly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 red weeklies from literally 3,500 to 900. After this large of a sell-off, this steep of a sell-off into support, this seems like the most obvious trade is a move like this. Doesn't mean that that's going to happen, but that seems like the most obvious trade after a big-ass down move like this into support. Okay? So if you now zoom in, you can say, okay, well, we had a clear level here of support, right? Support, 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 big breakdown. Once we start trading above that level again, what is this? It's an over-under, right? So if this is a key SR level, once we started trading back above it and then came back in for a retest, why not look for, if you're saying, hey, the high time frame, I think we're going to do this. This is the kind of stuff you need to be looking for on the low time frame. Okay, we had a big deviation of support here. We reclaimed it. We're now retesting that level. There's a little low time frame deviation, reclaimed it. The entire time your invalidation is this, right? That ended up being Monday's low. This level here, pretty damn close. Right? But I just drew that by hand as, okay, this is obviously support, resistance. Now it's support again. So we deviated below the level, tagged that high time frame level. We're now back above it. I want to be looking for support, right? Some sort of SR flip. So we're like this. This is what this looks like here. We had this breakdown back above. What are we looking for now? If my high time frame bias is, hey, I think we're due for some high time frame relief, look for longs when we come back into that level. And that's exactly what you got here. So I didn't personally long Ethereum. Ethereum ended up being the better long. Why is that? Well, if you look at, give me my shit back, motherfucker. If you look at FBTC, right, we've had some sort of potential bottoming structure. Maybe this might just be a deviation and we might trade back within this range here. So if that happens on this next leg, let's say we're going to move up another 10% across the board. If Ethereum BTC regains this range low, you're going to want to look to long Ethereum over Bitcoin, right? Because there's a chance that it likely is going to outperform Bitcoin. And as you can see, it's been in a slight uptrend versus Bitcoin. Hence why on this most recent bounce, it's bounced harder than Bitcoin, right? This slight uptrend on FBTC represents the difference of Bitcoin going from low to high here, 23%, Ethereum, 35%. And even more recently, right? This most recent move from here to here, Ethereum went up 11% in the last day and a half, whereas Bitcoin is up, 7%. Well, why is that? In the same time period, Ethereum BTC is up 4%, right? What's the difference between 7 and 11? 4%. There's your difference right there. Okay, so I think that pretty well covers everything that I want to cover on Ethereum and Bitcoin. Again, we're retesting this high time frame range low from the underside. If it does this, right, deviates, gets back within the range, we're going to look to trade this at least into here, but maybe back into the mid-range. I don't know, right? That would be pretty bullish for the market, I think. But too early to tell. I'm still not convinced that this is the bear market low on either Bitcoin or Ethereum. But I do believe that buying Ethereum, between $500 and $1,000, let's say, and buying Bitcoin between $10,000 and $20,000, long-term, very long time horizon, I think is probably not a terrible idea. But too early to tell if the bottom is in. But made some money this week. Happy with that. And I'm going to wait and see here. I'm going to see what happens, over the next couple days. We're coming up into the weekend here. I generally try not to trade on the weekend. I try and take that time off. But we're going to wait and see. I still think there's a chance that we tag 23. The question is, do we have the juice or do we need, a pullback first, maybe a deeper pullback? I do eventually think that this gets tagged though, before ultimately taking out this low. Same thing on Ethereum. I do think that we eventually tag, 1,300-ish around there before eventually taking out this low. I don't think the bottom is in yet. You look at a lot of altcoins, right? I talked about this in the last video. I said, if you want to catch crazy bounces, when you think Bitcoin and Ethereum have bottomed, I don't mean for good, but at least temporarily, you want to catch asymmetric upside, go look for altcoins versus BTC that might be putting in a bullish setup. We had this level marked on Sol BTC. Look at the reaction this had from that level. 74%. Still way down from all-time high, but 74% from that level. So if you're looking for longs because you're like, hey, Bitcoin looks like it might rally a few $1,000. If Sol BTC looks super bullish, what do you think Sol's doing? Oh, it's up 50%, whereas Bitcoin's up 8%. Ethereum's up 12%. Sol is up 50%, right? Again, confluence. Looking for those pieces of confluence and then making your decision, right? Here's your weekly order block here. Last down candle before the entire rally began, basically. We came into it. Bitcoin came into a key level. Ethereum came into a key level. Sol BTC came into a key level. Maybe I'll go hunt for a long on Sol. Right? And that's going to, some of these altcoin rallies that will happen in the bear market will be crazy. You'll see 50, 60, 70, 80, 100% rallies on altcoins, even though the whole market looks like shit. Litecoin, 40% from the low to high. 42%, right? That outperformed the fuck out of Bitcoin. What does that also mean, though, is the inverse. On the way down, when Bitcoin broke down from 30 to 10, right, or to 20, Litecoin broke down 33%. So you have to look at the altcoin versus Bitcoin, the altcoin versus Ethereum, and then if you believe that there's support, right? Okay, we're in a support here. I think that we might get a mean reversion. Then go hunt those altcoin setups, but make sure you're comparing them against BTC. Ethereum versus BTC was slightly outperforming. Ethereum slightly outperformed Bitcoin. Sol was massively outperforming Bitcoin. Sol USD printed a much bigger long. LTC BTC massively outperformed Bitcoin. That's why LTC USD printed a much bigger long, right? You can do this for, let's look at, what's another altcoin that went crazy? I don't know. There you go. Matic. Huge fucking rally. 60%. What do you think Matic USD looks like? Right? Almost 100% move. So if you go here and you say, okay, what day did this move start? Let's just take the day that we entered the Bitcoin long, the 21st. Okay? So look at these two charts. Both of them rallied. Which one do you want to be long? Right? If Matic Bitcoin printed this huge up candle on the 22nd of June, do you not think that you want to be looking at Matic USD for long opportunities that are going to smoke Bitcoin out of the water? Absolutely. The price action is very similar, right? You have, let's see here if I got it. Let's see. This is like an over-under, I guess. I just randomly picked this, so I didn't actually know that this coin did this well, right? But there's your low, lower low, higher low. Break in market structure, bullish order block. But look at how much more this ran versus that setup on Bitcoin. Bitcoin's up 5% from my entry. Matic's up fucking 50, right? So if you want those asymmetric bets, look at altcoins. Check the BTC pair. Check the Ethereum pair. If you think Bitcoin or Ethereum are going to go up, if any of these BTC pairs of those altcoins look bullish, look to long that altcoin instead. Natty? I'm natty. I'm absolutely natty. Never touched steroids. Never plan to. Who can squat more, you or Cred? Cred. Cred has absolute fucking tree trunks for legs. I can squat like for one right now. Tomorrow I'm doing squats. I'll let you guys know. But last squat session, like heavy squat day where I went for a 1 rep max, I think I hit like 345 for one, and then I tried a second one and it was very shaky. I can consistently do 3 plates though. How did you learn, bro? Years of fucking losing money in practice. Which are my bread and butter setups? I talk about those so much, bro. Breakers, order blocks, swing failure patterns, over-unders. Those are kind of my go-tos. What are life changes people make when they make it? Do you bank differently? Different considerations when buying a home, hiring people? I mean, you have more money. It gives you more freedom to make decisions and do things that you like. I don't think money changes you. I think it just accentuates who you already are. But I'm not hiring people necessarily. I have an accountant and shit like that, but I don't have staff. I have an editor, I guess. Would you ever have drinks with Bill Cosby? If I was trying to get fucked up, sure, because I'm pretty sure roofies don't work the same on dudes as they do on girls. Mayne, it's Pakistani mango season. How do you get some? I have no idea. Probably a Pakistani market. How long did it take you to get profitable or have a good grasp? I don't know, like 2 years maybe plus. Do you use leverage? Yes. Thank you for your time and investments for us. Me, a less than 1 year noob, bought a bag of ETH at 990 spot. Very nice. Where would be a good take profit level? I was thinking 1500. Well, that depends. Is this your bought spot? Are you looking to hold this for a significant period of time? You bought near the low, GG. Are you just trying to make some money, right? Like, are you saying, hey, right? Because just because you bought spot, it's still a trade. Where was that trade idea wrong? Maybe you bought it here and your stop is here. Okay, then maybe your target is up here. I don't know. Or is that like a spot bag that you're going to hold for the next cycle, right? That's a question you got to ask yourself. If you're just looking for a quick flip, well, what was your reasoning? If you're saying, okay, there's the low, I longed here, my stop is here, then the logical target is at least probably above here. That's probably at least a 2 to 1 R. Noob question. What's so special about Monday's range? It's something I learned from Forex. Right? The market opens and Monday sets a high or a low, right? And then you can use that as a range to look for setups kind of on an intraday. It's kind of like a intraday strategy. You could use Tuesdays high and low, Fridays high and low. You can use a monthly high and low. It's just a range. But it's something that I used in Forex. What's happening, champion? Respect from Australia. Good day, mate. Look out for those spiders. That was terrible. Mayne, a lot of guys say BTC is going to surge and leave ETH sitting still. Do you still think that's possible? What guys? Who are they? Are they in the room with you now? I don't know. Comments like that, I don't even know how to answer that. Who is saying this? What is their reasoning for it? I have no idea. The only thing I would consider is if you're trying to say, okay, is Bitcoin going to rally without Ethereum or outperform Ethereum? Well, there's two charts you can look at. Bitcoin dominance. If this is going up, right? So during the bull market, where did Bitcoin outperform, right? Versus altcoins outperform. So where is Bitcoin the most dominant? You can use this chart, right? So if this chart is going up, BTC is usually stronger than altcoins. You can also just look at this. If you're specifically asking about Ethereum BTC, for what those guys, I don't know where they are saying to be true, this chart would need to sell off. So if Bitcoin's going to go up and Ethereum's going to go up or go sideways, this chart is going to sell off. So you can make your own decision. I don't know who those people are, though. I love that. A lot of guys. What guys? When am I coming to Argentina to eat asado and drink vino tinto? When are you going to invite me, bro? Send me location. Send location. I'll be there. Mayne, thoughts on Sam FTX bailing out these insolvent crypto funds? I mean, inherently, doesn't this just make crypto more centralized? Like, I'm pretty sure Sam is evil. Like, he is an operator of the highest order, a super autistic, super genius who is absolutely, like, I mean, who do you think the counterparty is to funds like 3AC getting blown the fuck out are. It's fucking Sam in Alameda, right? So the good news, I don't think crypto is going to die because of Sam in Alameda. The bad news is, how much power do we want this motherfucker to have? We're supposed to be decentralized, and this one guy's going to like fucking own everything. What's your opinion on the whale who sold 5.7 million SOL? I have no opinion. I didn't even know that happened. Matic Hype at NOIC. There you go. Hey, Mayne, do you use fair value gaps or imbalances? Sometimes. This is a fair value gap. Well, this is more just a regular gap, I guess. But yeah, sometimes I use fair value gaps. Opinion on log versus linear. I've just never really used log charts. I feel like the log chart is just a way to smooth out the chart so it doesn't look as bad. It's like, oh, look, it's not even that bad. Look, guys, look at the trajectory of Bitcoin. You guys really worried? Look at this thing. It just goes up. It's like, yeah, sure, this looks good. But if you bought here, you lost 80%, right? You're down 80%. If you bought here, you're down 80%, right? So it just kind of smooths it out. And just the way that I trade is relatively short term. So I don't use the log chart personally. Hey, Mayne, your Discord link never works for me. DM me right now and I'll send you a new one. Isn't it that BTC you can trade with smaller stop loss, thus similar RR returns? That question doesn't make any sense, my friend. I'm sorry. Try and reword it. Mayne, I have a problem getting into a trade. I have a plan, but I'm always scared of buying. Do you have any advice? Stop being such a pussy. But for real, if you're scared to enter, why? Do you not trust your plan? Or maybe you're risking more than you're willing to lose. If you're like, okay, here's my plan. Like if you know your plan, that means you know exactly how much money you will lose if you're stopped out. Because you know where your stop is, you know your position size, so you know before you even enter the trade exactly how much money you're willing to stand to lose if you're wrong. So if that number is too big, you're risking too much. If that's not the reason you're scared, you're just a pussy. Yes, we can bottom here, but the Fed is literally telling everyone to front in front of their face of what they're doing. I wouldn't go against them. When stocks form some sort of bottom, that should reflect on crypto positively. Obviously, corrections in bearish markets are one of the best. Completely agree. The Fed has shown no signs of changing their tune in terms of what's going to happen with stocks. I don't think stocks have bottomed yet. So if the stock market does this, you can bet your ass that crypto hasn't bottomed yet. But then if the stock market starts bottoming here, right, and crypto is now ranging between 10 and 20K, maybe that's how the bottom forms. I don't know, but I agree. Are you longing this breakout? What breakout? I'm already long from earlier. I don't think we're into resistance. I don't think we're breaking out yet. We're right into this H4 resistance here. So I'm patient. I took some off my long, actually. The sexiest Bitcoin boy in the house. Let's fucking go, Trader Nick. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Better ask on YouTube. He rarely reads the Twitch chat. I'm reading the Twitch chat right now, motherfucker. How about that? Do you think you're strong enough to squat BitBoy? Absolutely not. I don't think Eddie Hall is strong enough to squat BitBoy. That guy, his mass is so great. His radius is so wide that he has his own gravitational force. When you walk by BitBoy, you'll actually see small items like cans and bottles rotating around him in orbit because he has his own gravitational field. That's how big BitBoy is. Are you Trader SZ's son? I wish. I would have a better tan if I were. I hate the theory that we're going to chop and then break down. I have a theory that we're going to chop and then break down to new lows. Okay, let's find out. More money equals less wasted time equals more freedom. Sure. Where can I learn over-unders, breakers, order blocks? I don't know. Maybe go on my YouTube channel and type in order blocks. Tell me if you find anything. I don't know. Maybe. Who would you rather punch, BitBoy or Do Kwon? I would rather never have to be in either of their presence in real life. I'd just prefer that. Do you like men? As long as we're trading below 30,000? Yes, I do. What's your ratio on leverage to stop loss? I don't understand your question. How do you use the day range on a 24/7 market? You press the daily chart and you mark the high and low of that day's candle. Don Alt said it. Ben Cowan said it. I'm just asking if it's different now. I don't know what you're referring to. Are you the person who said is this about Bitcoin leaving alts in the dust? Perhaps. Right now on this most recent bounce, a bunch of alts left Bitcoin in the dust. So I don't know. Okay. What would make you long Bitcoin? Again, you got to watch the video, Alex. I talked about that earlier already. All right. I'm going to wrap up this video here again, pretty quick. I did watch Kenobi. I thought the last episode was like cool, but I also think the storyline, it could have been done so much better. Jon Favreau should be in charge of all Star Wars shit in perpetuity. He knows what the fans want when he did Mandalorian. I feel like there was some good nostalgia in here. Some of the action was awesome. I just didn't love the storyline. I didn't like Leia's character, 9 years old, and is just like the ultimate fucking badass. Like not scared of anything, even though she's being chased by like fucking stormtroopers and fucking lightsaber wielding fucking inquisitors. She like never scared, right? Badass 9-year-old, right? I'm like, I don't know, like it just didn't seem realistic, and the story was kind of meh. I don't know. Thought it could have been better, but there were some dope parts for sure. It's dope seeing Darth Vader fuck shit up. Do I ever use funding as a starting point? Me personally, no, but I know lots of people who will look at funding and be like, hey, funding has been negative for a very long time. I'm going to go check out this chart and see if there's any opportunities. Sure. Yeah, I got to get caught up on the boys. I watched the first episode and I was super confused, so I need to watch some sort of primer to remind me of what the fuck's happening. When Vegas again? Hopefully no time soon. I got absolutely rinsed financially in this last trip. Paid a lot, spent a lot of money. But I will be in Vegas for the Kanpai Panda party August 13th. So if you have a Kanpai Panda and you come to Vegas, I will see you there. All right, guys. I think that was a pretty good fucking video. I'm going to end it here. Again, if you have any questions, anything like that, you can DM me. If you want to join my Discord, go to my website. It has instructions on how to join. Hopefully this was a good video. Hopefully you guys liked it. Hopefully it was informative. Hopefully you guys are making some money with me. Please use that Prime XBT link over there, and in the description. Use that link. Deposit some funds. It really helps me out. That's how I'm getting compensated to do these videos. So if you guys deposit, I'm earning a little bit of money on that. So I appreciate anything that you guys can do to help me out. Even if you're just depositing, you can deposit and then withdraw. It doesn't matter. Just deposit using my link. That helps me out a lot. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Love you guys all so much, and I'll talk to you soon. Check out TikTok. Posting lots on there. Multiple videos every day.